So here we are at the start of the Green Gateways at station top, and straight ahead about 50 metres away is a bridge which goes over the bypass. And so if you're a fast runner, I get to the front of the start. If you're just an ambler like me, stay at the back, because you will end up queuing to go over this bridge. And then when you're the other side, follow the footpath, and you basically keep going in a straight line all the way up the Chevin to the top. I'll talk you through that in a minute. So just get to the steps. Any race you do in Otley, there's only one way out of Otley because it sits in the valley, and that's up. And on this race you've got the wonderful Chevin steps to climb. But before we get there, we're just at Station Road, and we're going up and over the bypass, which is reasonably quiet at the moment. There we go, one bypass, and then straight up the footpath opposite and cross Birdcage Walk and carry straight on. So across Birdcage Walk and straight on up the footpath. This is actually also the Welcome Way, and it's public footpath up to Yorkgate. So when you get to the end of that footpath, come to a little road, and we cross that road and continue up the cobbled footpath. And if you're like me, you think, bloody hell, I've not even done a quarter of a mile yet, and I'm puffing. But straight up these, and then we got the joy of the Chevin steps. So at the top of that cobbled path, we've got some steps. These aren't the main ones yet. Off to the right is the White House, Leeds City Council building. Currently not in use due to water supply problems, but they're trying to sort that. So here we are at the start of the Chevin steps. That was the way to the Wharfdale skyline, down to the White House, back the way we came. So I've never been able to count how many there are. They get particularly steep near the top. I've never managed to run them all. I've got about 2/3 of the way up before, but not today. We're just wrecking. Whew, well, I made it 214 steps. Right, so not quite at the top of the Chevin yet. There's a lovely avenue of trees along there with a stone edging to the path, and we cross this path by the I think that's possibly a guitar, sculpted by Shane Green, world famous sculptor and art teacher at a local grammar school, and for what it's worth, I helped fund them. Right, onwards and upwards, carry on across there, up this windy path. I'm doing this on the 2nd of January, and it's cold, but not overly windy, very pleasant, but very dry. And with it being cold, it's there's no mud. This is often a mudslider along here. If it holds up for 2 weeks, you're going to get a fantastically runnable course and lots of course records, although there is snow forecast. Anyway, see you at the top of the Chevin at Surprise View. So here we are at Surprise View, and there's an info board telling you all about Otley Chevin and the Chevin Forest Park, and about 18,000 years ago the Wharfdale Glacier. It's not quite cold enough for that at the moment, but you can see Otley down below. You see this much better when you're here. Over to the left is Beamsley Beacon, over to the right is Armscliff Crag, and on a clear day you can see all the way to York Minster over there. So we're now going to head off to the right. As we head across the top of the Chevin, there's an old ruin there which is Jenny's cottage, and people used to live there. And it also used to be a cafe at one point. And we climb up here, and that rock up there is the highest point on the Chevin. It sits just above Surprise View. And oh, one thing I forgot to mention, we're at Surprise View. As we look over that way, you can't quite see it because of the sun. There's a lovely sunrise this morning. But there's Leeds Bradford Airport, and for those of you on the half marathon, you've got the delights of going around there. But at least this is all the climb really you do on the half. There is a bit more climb on the 20 in the Ultra. You go up the Billing, and there's a few other little ones, but nothing major. Lovely little route, great for running the Christmas pudding off and getting your first run of the year in. So as we come down off the top of the Chevin, this rocky path joins another path, and we swing round to the left and join it, and just stay on this roughly contouring, a little bit of climb but not much, and staying on this path for a while. On the path there's a few splits. It's probably easier always to take the left hand one and keep as close to the wall as you can. It doesn't really matter, these ones go to the same place, but that one you probably could have gone on the right, but the previous one did drop down, so avoid that one. When you get to the end of that ridge path, carry on just for a little bit longer. There's a little pond down there, little nature reserve. Carry on, just keep the wall to your left, and we're going to drop down in a minute as we move around to the right. Be careful, a bit lumpy with roots and stones around here. It's fairly open at this time of year. It's not too difficult to get lost. Famous last words. But if you sort of keep the wall to your left, and there's some crags coming up on the left, and we just need to be below them really. You can sort of see a path going through here, but it's all pretty open, so you just need to stay across to the left of it as much as possible. When you get to the top of a little rise, don't go straight on, keep on to the wider path which goes off to the right, and sort of keeps roughly to a level. Like I said, don't drop down too much. The edge of the woods is just there, just above those boulders, so we're keeping those to the left, and there's a few ways through here. I'll stay a bit high today. No definitive path through, there's a few down below, and as I come out to this one here, helps if you know the way of course, but you can be on the one down below as well. They all come out to the same place as long as you stay high enough and don't drop down, because after those massive boulders we're climbing up to the left to rejoin the boundary. I did once go across the boundary, as it were, staying this side but along the top, but it gets a bit sketchy, and there's a couple of bits where the old path fell away, and there's a big drop down, so that's why you come down just below the boulders and you come to this path which nicely full of roots, and we can see the field to the left there, and this path should end at a little stile crossing into that field. There it is. Oh, it doesn't end. Yeah, just watch out for the gap in the wall to the left. There we go. And then we go across this field slightly to the left where that car's parked, and that's the way out the field over there. and then we go over this sort of style through the gap in the wall, cross York Gate, and then through the gap in the wall to the next field, and follow the track across the field pretty much in a straight line at the moment. We're actually heading across for that windmill up there, if you can see it, little wind turbine. The end of that first field, another little stile to go across, and again the footpath is fairly obvious at this time of the year, going across the field to the right of that wind turbine, but we'll be swinging back left in a minute. And at the end of that field, another little gap in the wall. Seems to be popular in this area. Historically, the footpath went over there and then along that section, which was always completely riddled with nettles, but it's been changed now, so you don't need to worry about it. Just cut across here towards this house, and that wind turbine I was telling you about, and then go through this little gap here, and you can see it wasn't very good through there. I had to go and cut it away one year. Right, and then down this footpath to the right of a deep quarry. Sorry, the quarry was on your right. Anyway, out of here, there used to be a stile here. Seemed to have made it all a bit easier now, just gaps in walls. And to this unmade road, we turn left. And almost immediately right. And we stay on this old track to the, well, until it turns right. So don't go straight on the public footpath, which is also the official welcome way that way. It's not, it's pretty grotty that way through there. Anyway, we're turning around to the right, staying on the track down to the road. So as we come out to the road, we turn right. Now it's quite a narrow country road and not overly fast because it's narrow, but you just need to watch out for the traffic for 100 yards or so. Just stay on the right to begin with, because we're about to go around a blind bend to the left, and shortly after that bend we're looking for a public footpath track over to the right, over to the left of me. So after that bend, and just as the road's about to start bending a bit to the right, and there's a gap in the wall to the left, that's where the public footpath is. I think the sign's broken down now. Yeah, there used to be a sign here, but you can see there that there is a sign pointing down this track, and this goes down to a outdoor horse arena. So as we approach the small stables and little riding arena, previously the course has gone straight on over that stile, but we're turning right this year to avoid the horses, and we're coming down here. This is actually the welcome way, and we're coming down this footpath here at the request of the farm, because it spooks some of the horses. It's okay to do as if you're walking it, but if we've got runners going through, like I said, it can spook the horses a bit. So we're going to come down here and just do a little detour around. So as we come along here, come to a little kissing gate on the left, and just come through here, carry on through the sort of marked area, through the field, just keep going straight through here, and another little kissing gate. Tell you what, if we had gone through the where the horses were, there's an incredibly boggy field there, which I would imagine is probably boggy even in today's conditions, because the horses churn it all up. This little diversion from previous years is pretty easy to follow. It's all signposted, it is a public footpath, and another little stile to climb over. Here we go. And to the right we've got deep woods, and we're just about to rejoin the original course. So we've not gone too much further, but probably better conditioned footpath, and yeah, all looks good. Now apparently this fence here, I think, is broken, but they're going to fix it for us for the race. I think it's this one. They said that there was one round here somewhere that they would sort out. Yeah, pretty sure it's probably this one. Yeah, it is, because as you drop down at the moment there's a little post there with a nail sticking out. So there we go. Then we go across this field and out the other side, and at the other side across a little stile and into an enclosed footpath. There we go. And as we follow that footpath along, you go through another little gap in the wall, and very shortly another gap in the wall. There we go. Onto some stones. And at the end of this stone there's a road at the moment which is public right of way. There's a crossroads, and we're turning right, and there's no other options now but to stay on this bridleway until we get to Yeadon Banks. So when we get to the end of that path, a little gate to go through. I remember when you used to have to go across that little bridge and there used to be a stile there. Oh, how times change. Right, we're going across this field, but don't be tempted by the gate that's opposite. That's not the gate we're going through. We're going to the left and up where that, I don't think you see there's a little tree in the corner there. We're going behind that and there's a stile there. So we're actually going to the corner of the field. So here we are by that little, was a holly bush. There we go. And there's a gate in the corner. So this is the correct one. We look back to Deepka Woods, back up to the I had a lovely little run down from there. Shut the gate. And then go across this little field to my favourite gate, my favourite little stile. And there's a trick to it, which, unless you know, which if you're watching this video you do now, you can make an interesting mistake. So let's get to this enclosed footpath. So when you look at it you think, my God, look how high that step is there. I've seen people, especially small people, struggle to climb over that. I think it's actually a mounting step. Anyway, just push it. Oh, actually, they've actually put a little loop on it this time. But normally, you just push that and it opens. But the number of people that try to use that really high stile. Anyway, enclosed footpath now. So at the end of that enclosed path, there's a gate which takes us onto Yeadon Banks. Ignoring the footpath down into the estate. So we go on this path, and depending on what course you are, depends on which way you leave Yeadon Banks. So we'll just carry on it for a little bit. So we're about to come to the split. The easiest way to remember this is it's like a little ridge, a little embankment. Just as you go over this, if you're doing the ultra, you carry straight on, and that's that path off there to the right of the fork. And if you're doing the half, you go left here. So at the end of Eden Banks, come to a little gate with a bin by it, and you go across the road onto Hawthorne Drive, full length of Hawthorne Drive, and at the other side is Eden Tarn. At the end of Hawthorne Drive we come to Cemetery Road, and there's a little gap in the wall. Go through the little gap in the wall and then follow the footpath down to the end. And at the end of that path, turn left and cross the front of Eden Tarn. This is where the two courses meet again. And at the end of Eden Tarn, you come out to Tarn View Road and turn left and stay on that road as it bends around to the right. There we go. Where it says Victoria Terrace as it bends around to the right. When Tarn View Road bends off to the left, carry straight on along the unmade road footpath which connects us through to the next road, and then we go straight up that road to the main Harrogate Road and turn right. So at the end of Victoria Close we're turning right and across the Harrogate Road, main road, whenever you want. There is a crossing point up at the traffic lights, and we are going that far, so you can wait until there, or if the opportunity presents itself, like it does now, cross earlier. So this is another place where the course is split again. So 20 mile in the ultras goes straight across here, across that crossing. As you're coming down the hill from that junction, second on the left, Moorfield Drive, you're looking for the public footpath to the billing. At the end of Moorfield Drive there's a little tiny ginnel which leads out to a field and a stile. Going over the stile, and we've got bright sunlight at the moment. So right then, and from here you turn left and go up the hill. Can't see it in this light, but there's a gate up there which we're going to go through. So here's the gate, bit of a kissing gate. It's a very friendly course, there's lots of kissing gates. And then don't go down through that gate on that road, go across the stile opposite, and we're going up again, diagonally across this field, going slightly up, heading towards that big tree up there. And just to the right of that big tree there's another little stile, and this stile leads into the next field, and we drop down in this field, and you can probably just about see a gate where you will be able to on the day. There's a gate just slightly diagonally across, again just to the right of a big chunky tree, and then we're going to go up the next field up to the top of the billing. And then at this gate there's a little side pedestrian gate, and we're going up the hill opposite, and we're keeping over to the left of this bit up to the top where there's another gate. So the footpath goes slightly over to the left and then carries on along by the fence. So at the top we've got a little gate to go through. This is a new gate, and then we bear round to the right, just to the left of that tree up there, because we're going to enter the woods at the top of the billing. In fact, you need to just keep a little bit more left because there's a bit of a dip there, but when we get to the top we should be able to see the gate into the woods. Keep going till you reach the highest point. You get some awesome views from on the billing. Just scan round. There we go. Over into Leeds. There's a power station there. I can't remember if that's Drax. And just behind those trees there I saw a minute ago was Emily Moore transmitter over near Huddersfield. So you got a great view, and just as we top the rise we can see the gate ahead. So I'll just run onto that. And through the gate and join the footpath at T-junction and turn right and follow that path round. So as you follow that path round, there's a few paths off down. Ignore them all until you get to the one with this post on it, which has got lots of different footpaths. So don't carry on, turn right and follow this footpath down here, which is to the left of this field, and we can see a football pitch in the distance, and we're descending down this one. Now if it does get very muddy, which depends on the weather, it's frozen today, this can be a bit treacherous, and quite often people either go down the field to the right or through the woods to the left. That's fine if it gets a bit too treacherous. As we're coming down that path, there's a footpath off to the right, ignore that, and as we drop down we meet another path coming off of the billing, and there's a little few steps down, there we go, and we turn right and carry on going downhill. Then as we get to the bottom, there's the billing straight ahead, the housing complex, or you turn right and go diagonally across this field with the football club to your right and go to the houses ahead. So at the end of that little section, little car park next to the football field, billing view off that way, and we come onto a road and keep over to the right. So as we get to the main road or town street, we've just come off Billing View and we're turning right past the Emmet Arms, and there's a little mini roundabout ahead, and we're turning right at that mini roundabout, going slightly uphill. And that's Larkfield Road. So as we're coming up Larkfield Road, we pass Rawdon Cricket Club, and the footpath starts on the other side of the road just shortly after. We need to cross to be on that, because where the old folk crossing sign is, just to the left of that there's a footpath sign, and that's the footpath we want to take, which will put us onto a ginnel, which will then lead us all the way down into Rawdon, into the shops, and you just keep going in a straight line all the way. You come out to some houses at one point, but just keep going straight on. Don't go down there, that's private. This is the ginnel down here. So I'll catch up with you when we get to Rawdon. So at the end of all those ginnels we come down some steps to Harrogate Road, where the shops are in Rawdon, and straight ahead you can see Rawdon Local. If you're getting really desperate you can pop in there, but our checkpoint is just around the corner. So I'm going to cross the road here, although you can cross it at the traffic lights, and we're going round to the right and across the pedestrian crossing, making sure all's clear. And this is where Rawdon Library is, and the checkpoint will be located in this car park,